What's going on, guys? Jacob here, Miami Dolphins Syndicate. We talked about some wide receivers this week. We talked about Odell. We talked about Tyler Boyd yesterday. And we're probably going to round things out today with our last receiver that we're going to talk about. Unless there are guys that you'd like to see us make videos about. If so, let us know down below in the comments below. Also hit that like button to let us know that you want some more wide receiver based videos. We talked about those two guys and the pros and the cons. And there was a lot of both for Odell, a lot of pros for Tyler Boyd. And back on the same route with a lot of pros and a lot of cons we have today with Michael Thomas, formerly of the New Orleans Saints. And you have a really mixed bag career when it comes to what Michael Thomas did with the New Orleans Saints. You look at the highs, you look at his 2018 season, and then you look at his 2019 season, and it was the two best years in New Orleans Saints history at the wide receiver position. In 2019, 1,700 yards, broke their record there, and also broke the single season catch mark in the entire NFL with 149 catches, and the season before 125 catches for 1,400 yards. So back-to-back incredible seasons. In fact, even the season before that, the 2017 season, was the third highest catches in New Orleans Saints history. So 3 seasons on the jump. Just continue to break that record for the New Orleans Saints of catches in a season. The only guy that has had more than 100 catches in New Orleans Saints history. And he looked really sharp while doing it. He was a very exciting player. Him and Drew Brees had a very good connection that was clearly working. And then as soon as Drew Brees left, for one reason or another, we have not seen the same production out of Michael Thomas. Now, most of that, unfortunately, is an injury issue that Michael Thomas has had over the last few years. Michael Thomas has missed a lot of games. He has not played a full season since that 2019 season, where, of course, he broke the NFL record for catches in a season. Since then, it's been downhill, and it's been a really rough ride. So in 2020, only started 5 games that year, played a total of 7, missed the entire 2021 season with an ankle injury. 2022 played 3 games, and then this last season, 2023, he played 10 games, only started in 7, but just not the availability you want over a 4-year stretch from a guy that's already in his 30s at a wide receiver position, where he has already seen a lot of mileage on the tank and a lot of injuries accrue up through this point in his career. I like Michael Thomas as an option. I think there really grew a narrative around Michael Thomas that, he got that moniker, got that nickname Slant Boy. And if you go and watch the tape, I'd say it's an unfair nickname. Now, yes, he did get a lot of yards and got a lot of his work just being able to get that quick first step off the line, break to the inside, beat your defender off the line, and just continually rack up first downs. And that's how he got 149 catches. That's a lot of it. But you watch his highlights and they paint a different picture. I don't know if he's evolved or if it was just that untrue in the beginning, but he can run pretty much every single route you see in the route tree. This last season, the few little production that he did have of 448 yards, there was quite a few contested balls there. There was some deeper shots down the field. He's not somebody who's going to burn you over the top. He doesn't have that straight line speed like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill does, but he's a little taller in frame, 6'2", 6'3". Can go up and get a ball. The separation, like I said, isn't quite there, but the quick first step off the line, you can find separation there. And he is one of the elite route runners in the league, even at this point in his career, even though it's not going to be utilized as much as you would like it to be, whether that's because of injury or he just has in general lost a step. You still find somebody that has a lot of talent and on his best days can be a very productive and useful wide receiver. Now, comes to the question, should the Miami Dolphins sign him? And I stand on what I said yesterday, that I believe Tyler Boyd is the best option for the Miami Dolphins as a wide receiver 3, as we saw him play pretty much his entire career, at best as a wide receiver 2, but most recently as a wide receiver 3, and saw some really good years out of him up in Cincinnati. Michael Thomas, when he was at his best, he was a number 1 target. He was the number 1 guy in the New Orleans Saints offense. And then ever since he's become secondary, sometimes even the third option on this New Orleans Saints passing offense, you don't get the same guy. You're not getting an alpha that is fighting for his spot on the field. You're not getting somebody who's going to set you over the top on offense. And quite frankly, you got somebody who, like we just mentioned, is just not available, has missed so much time over the last few years. And that's the biggest thing to hammer home about him as to why he may not be a good idea for the Miami Dolphins. You got to play. You got to be on the field. Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. You got to be on the field. Even when OBJ was healthy last year, you're looking at him only being on the field for like 50% of snaps. That's not acceptable. And Michael Thomas, the same exact issue. Miami Dolphins have had so many players with injury issues over the years, and last year we saw that come to the forefront and really crumble the season at the end. And when you have a guy at a position of need with this team, a position that the Dolphins were going to heavily rely on if they can get somebody in there of the acumen of Michael Thomas, of Odell, of Tyler Boyd, of some of these other guys that are out there. You need to be available. And I can talk about his footwork. I can talk about his route running. I can talk about how he's diversified himself as a wide receiver. All I want. There are positives in his game that I like. He's just not available. And that sucks because there's clear talent there. He has good hands. He's been a reliable pass catcher. There's so many good things to say about his ability on the field. Ability on the field alone, I'm probably taking him over Odell. But even with Odell's injury issues, Odell has been healthier than Michael Thomas has been. Michael Thomas missed an entire season, whereas the season, I think either before or after, he only played 3 games. The season after he came back from that injury, he only played 3 games. And then this year, 10 games played, 448 yards, a single touchdown. Now that he is a little healthier, I guess relatively, you're still not getting a lot of production. You're still not getting anything amazing out of him. So it pains me to say that no, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's a good signing. I don't think that. I don't think he's a signing that is going to happen. If he does get signed, obviously, fingers crossed, if he can stay healthy, then okay, cool. Then you have a really good wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. You probably have, just talent-wise, between him, Odell, and Tyler Boyd, you probably have the best in the bunch talent-wise. All those things that I mentioned that he can do well if he is healthy, but he's not. And he just hasn't been. All those injuries, the lower half of the body, hip, groin, ankle, hamstring, ACL, I believe even, like everything down the line underneath the waist has been an issue for Michael Thomas. So I don't really think it's a good idea to sign him. I think there's much smarter ways this money can be allotted, especially since there's not a lot of it. And I'd rather even go to the draft for a wide receiver, a 2nd-round guy, a 3rd-round guy, wherever you find him. I'd rather go that direction than sign Michael Thomas. But let me know down below, what do you think of Michael Thomas? Do you like him? Are you a little bit more positive about him than I am? If he's healthy, he produces, but he's just never healthy. So let me know if you think any different thoughts about him, or if you agree with me, let me know down below in the comments. Give us some ideas of people you'd like to see the Miami Dolphins bring in. We're going to get into draft coverage very soon here, as it's about to hit April. I believe we're actually exactly a month away from the NFL draft. So we are going to dive headfirst into draft coverage starting next week. So let us know down below, guys, that you would like to see the Miami Dolphins bring in either through the draft or through remaining free agency. Let us know down below. I believe you guys are going to have Donovan tomorrow. I forget what he's going to be making video on, but look out for that video. Appreciate y'all very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the growth that we see on the channel here. A lot of viewers coming back that we recognize your guys' names in the comments. So we appreciate y'all all very much for watching. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Go Dolphins.